They're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us.
Hello and welcome to They're Not Sending Their Best. I am one of your hosts, Tim Phillippe, and with me, as always, is Andrew Turner. Before we forget and before we get into this, I Donald Trump myself there, and I'm proud of it. We moved channels, and now we are on The American Left, a new channel on the good old YouTube.com, and you can find this show there, as well as America the Conversation, our new news show, This Week with The American Left, as well as Indicted, The Trials of Donald Trump. And, you know, we're there. Come help us. Come subscribe. And we are also releasing this episode out of order on that channel, but in order in your podcast feed, because I just had to talk about Kristi Noem before, you know, all of the new and / old episodes get out on that feed. So enough rambling. Let's talk about Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota, who unalived her 14-month-old little puppy named Cricket a long time ago, not too far away in northern South Dakota, or just South Dakota. I don't know where the fuck she lives. But I was trying to do a Star Wars thing and then got lost in my own head. It's okay. Well, all right. Andrew, first, before we get into this wonderful governor who will never be vice president, contrary to your fears, and I believe your pick for vice president, or no, she was
originally,
mine. You were
no, I think you were
Tulsi
OG.
Gabbard, or was I Tulsi Gabbard?
Gabbard was my OG, but she was my like 3 weeks ago. I said it'll probably be Noem.
Yeah, and now I'm going to say Noem. You're welcome. You're welcome.
What was your question, Timothy?
I haven't asked it, actually. I just realized that. Have you ever needed to harm an animal because it didn't, agree to what you wanted it to do?
Well, I've put down dogs, but I took them to a vet and had a professional veterinarian inject a needle into them when they were like old and decrepit.
Yeah. You didn't take one hunting, and when it didn't hunt the birds you wanted it to hunt.
I've never shot a dog.
Right.
No.
Don't do that. We definitely do not endorse and advocate against it, actually.
I was like
cruelty.
9 years old, and I was reading what's a good joke here? I was reading Spiro Agnew's diary and FDR Cousins' how-to business books, and they both said, don't kill a puppy and then brag about it if you ever want any type of political career.
You really reached for
funny
Spiro Agnew on that one too. We're really connecting with the Gen Z, so I love that, and I'm especially calling them the Gen
Dude,
Z.
So many kids are Agnew heads these days. It's crazy. Yeah.
He had that rebirth as vice president on Futurama for a while, and then kids just latched on.
I've seen Nixon Agnew shirts all the time at like rock concerts and shit.
I'm hoping Ross Perot catches on again. He was fun.
I don't.
No, no, he was not the greatest. He's not their best. He's better than this one, though. The story goes, Kristi, South Dakota governor, a while ago, I don't actually remember how long ago this was, but she took a dog named Cricket, 14-month-old wire-haired pointer, out hunting. It did not hunt the pheasants that she was trying to hunt, and instead she called it a picture of pure joy and that she hated that dog, and then took it back to her friend's house where it proceeded to kill a few of their chickens. Andrew, how much are chickens worth? Like $5, $10, like not devaluing a life, but it was a dog that saw a moving toy and attacked it.
Like chickens these days, I bet you're paying $25-$50 a chicken. But
well, she reimbursed the people, so there was that at least.
I'm sure it was like $5-10 a chicken back in Kristi Noem being a kid day. Yeah.
So no, she was an adult because this dog was. Yeah, we found out this was an adult.
She had
Kristi.
kids, right? Yeah.
So she then drags this dog out to a gravel pit when she gets home and shoots it and kills it.
Like $10-15. Yeah.
But
I mean, like either way,
the dog in a gravel pit.
Certainly not anything that she had to be worried about. I mean, like financially, it wasn't like putting her family out. But I mean, either way, like, I feel like you don't. It's not like the Great Depression, right? Like
this dog's gonna get it for killing our meal for the next 3 weeks.
Right. I feel like we're not going to eat the dog, so there's no reason to kill the dog. You just take the dog to a shelter. And I mean, you're rich. Like there governor are plenty of people. Yeah, you're governor rich. Like you can find somebody who will take a dog who kills chickens, but is perfectly fine otherwise. Like I do like that she had passion and hate for a dog.
Yeah, for a 14-month-old puppy that she called untrainable.
I mean, a dog in general. I could see the fucking most vicious dog in the world, and I wouldn't hate it. I'd be like, ooh, don't want to hang out with that dog. That
something's wrong with that dog.
But I wouldn't hate it. Like I've never had a passionate hate for any like animal.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's weird to hate an animal. Like an animal can't also hate you back. So it's just weird. But yeah, so
I don't know. I think orcas hate us at this point.
Oh, they do. They're smart. Fun fact, it has nothing to do with this episode, but we just discovered through machine learning the whale alphabet. And so whales have an alphabet. We need to let them out of whale jail, aka SeaWorld, and we need to treat them as now the second.
I haven't heard anything about us discovering a whale alphabet.
It was on NPR. I saw it on Ground News the other day. Fantastic website. Highly recommend Ground News. This is not some
what
weird.
What does that mean?
Ground
whale
News
alphabet.
They use some sort of machine learning. Don't derail the episode. I'm trying not to. Through basically AI, through quantum AI or whatever the fuck they do. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but yeah, sure. Google it yourselves. Highly recommend using Ground News to check that resource as well.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, like, she shot a dog, and like
she shot a dog in cold blood, and then killed a goat.
Thing. No. Like, I'm sure there's like Frank Reynolds-esque plenty of politicians who have like actively strangled or broke the neck of a dog and enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, her psychopathic tendencies are something that
serial killer shit.
I'm sure a lot of elected officials have, but like they were smart enough not to like brag about it in their ghostwriter book. Like, that's what I don't get is that she bragged about killing this dog. And then she recorded a book where she like her voice is
reading the words. Yeah. She read the audio book for this. Same thing with the goat too.
Not one point did, and the same thing about we'll talk about in a second about Kim Jong-un. It's like she recorded all this shit, and like not one point did her or her aides or her husband or her kids or anybody else go, "Yo, maybe this is a bad idea." Maybe you shouldn't brag about killing the 14-month-old dog.
Yeah. And also, again, I'm trying to get to the goat here as well, that she not only killed, but she wounded initially and then went back and killed it later because the dog...
she wasn't efficient about killing the goat,
The goat smelled bad and was mean to her kids and got their church clothes dirty or something like that.
As a fan of goats, all goats smell bad. I've never met a goat that I dislike, and I've never met a goat that smelled good.
They're also kind of assholes too. Not gonna lie. I mean,
that's what I like about them.
They bite. Like, that's kind of what they do. They kick them. They
bite. They headbutt. They demand.
They headbutt. Yeah.
Like they are the most demanding creatures. They will like hurt you if you don't bring them their food every day, and I kind of respect that. Like that they're domesticated enough to do exactly what I say and be butchered, but also that they're a bitch about it. Like. I like their sass, but I will say like, yeah, I mean, it shows like the psychopathic like like lack of empathy that she has and like care for other creatures for the sheer like life that's within them, and then on top of that, it shows like her complete lack of self-awareness and political savvy to be like, I should not brag about killing a dog even if I did that.
And her response was like, well, that's what you just do on farm. She doubled down on it, and then even went as far as to say that Joe Biden's old dog, who's now been rehomed, Commander, should be put down for biting people.
I mean, whatever. I mean, Commander only bites cops, so I mean, he did only bite cops. But I like
still threatening the president's dog. Come on, lady.
I mean, we'll kill it. Like, doubling down on killing the dogs is just a bad political savvy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I guess I can forgive her for the second thing that she's been called out on, which is like saying that she stared down Kim Jong-un when she went to North Korea, even though she only went to the DMZ and never met Kim Jong-un.
No.
Because at least that's like a Donald Trump lie where like, if you double down and maybe you were like, no, he was there, I saw him, and everybody was like, no, he wasn't, and you were just like, no, I saw him, I looked in my binoculars and I saw him across the fence, and he flipped me off and I stared him down and he ran away scared. Like, I guess you could double down on that at least, but like that's just a silly lie that
Yeah.
she refuses to acknowledge
And
that
she
said.
keeps saying, when questioned about it, she keeps saying things like, I'm not going to talk about my meetings with world leaders. She's like, well, I'm not asking you to.
But
They're
yeah,
like,
no, I'm
well,
asking you to say what was in your book that you
Yeah.
already talked about.
She's like, can
Yeah,
you,
like-
did you do, like, not that you did this, like, why did you include it in your book if it's not true? Like, especially, dude, the reading of the audiobook, like, as someone who is a voice actor, just baffles me. You know what you read. I remember things I've read, but I also don't remember things that I've read as well. Like,
if you're talking about your life, as you're reading it,
yes, my life, I would
like
100%
you should acknowledge
remember.
when you're like, ooh, maybe
Oh
I
my
shouldn't
God.
bring that up, even if the ghostwriter asked about it. But like, also,
She
what
posted videos of
ghostwriter
herself
did you
to TikTok
hire
of her
that was
reading
like,
the audiobook.
yeah, this is a good thing. Like
Videos of her on social media of her reading the audiobook. That's what I couldn't get past too. Like, of her still trying to deny it all. It's just like, and still thinking she's going to be vice president. And then going as far as when she's trying to do this apology to her Newsmax and other, even right-wing people telling her to her face, you'll never be.
8 months ago, you were
You'll never
like,
be vice
oh,
president.
let's talk about like all the VP choices and all the people running for president on the Republican side. And oh, we can make fun of them, and oh, it'll be fun, and the libs and the moderates will love it, and the leftists too. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, we can call it they're not sending their best, and we can clip Trump from like they're not sending their best speech. And like we've got to the point now that I'm just like, really? Like, this is who we're talking about? We're talking about the fucking Dakota governor who kills her dogs and brags about it? Like, I
was not on our list. We have like a list of 15 to 20 people, and the past 4 people we've done were not on the top of the list when we started.
No,
this.
she was on my VP choice list. That
Sure,
we made
but
a
she
few
wasn't
weeks
on our
ago,
list to
but,
record
like,
episodes. Like, that's what I mean. We had a list for this series that we had planned, and they're like,
I mean, like, I don't know who he's going to pick at this point. Like, I'm really banking on Donald Trump Jr. Like, I feel like that would be the best thing if this is like a simulation and the aliens are like having fun with us. Like, if it's like the world, the show, like, I feel like he should just pick his son, because then it's just like, okay, like, we're going to full monarchy, baby, and I'm into it. Fuck it. Like, let's get fucking Joe's son on the ticket. Fuck Kamala. Like, fuck it. Let's put fucking goddamn Hunter in there. He's already like half the fucking reason that they have like attacks on Joe
Democrats
Biden.
aren't
like,
that dumb. That's the problem.
dude, no. And then we
bad,
have
but they're
Trump
not dumb.
and Joe fight it out to the death. And then we have the era of, oh man, I'm so excited. Fuck democracy. This has been so dumb. We've been faking it the whole time.
Yep.
And I'm just done
it's not
with
a democracy.
Like,
that's the thing. Like, it's it's never been an act. Well, we did an episode on America the Conversation about this, like how it's never been an actual democracy. Otherwise, everybody would have equal right to vote, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a whole nother episode. But yeah, I mean, it's just when you have this level of
South
people.
Dakotans have like 4.5 votes compared to me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
Like for president. Like, it's really cool. Because you live in South Dakota, your vote counts so much more. It's really
many
cool.
people live in that state? Like, it has to be like 2 million
Less
people.
than
Like
multiple American cities.
Yeah.
Less than Dallas or Fort Worth.
God,
people
that's
live in
crazy.
South Dakota. Like, the mayors of Fort Worth and Dallas are in charge of more people day to day than either one of those governors.
Yeah. That was Ross. Speaking of Ross Perot from earlier, that was his argument against Bill Clinton a long time ago, is that the mayor of Dallas governs more.
They get 2 senators, everybody. We get fucking 4 senators from the Dakotas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, which is just basically one.
West Virginia
one state.
Gets 2 senators. Oh.
Yeah.
But Texas and fucking California and New York get 2 as well.
Yeah.
So
but like,
dumb. It's so dumb. It's a dumb way to organize things, everyone.
Yeah, it is. No, but what I was saying is Ross Perot's original argument against Bill Clinton was that the mayor of Dallas governs more people than the governor of Arkansas, at least at the time. And
I mean,
so
true.
Why are we? Yeah, I know. Like that's why it was weird for Pete Buttigieg and, for that matter, Rudy Giuliani to initially run. But it's like, but they also run huge towns. Now, I'm not saying they would have been good, but like they were at least somewhat viable at that one point.
Sometimes when I eat any type of like pheasant or turkey or bird like that, like I get a wishbone and I yank on it, and every time I wish that Pete Buttigieg never existed. But
That's
That
the
being
one
said-
you wish never existed. Just Pete Buttigieg.
I personally dislike Pete, like on
Again,
every
not liking
level.
him, but there's so many worse people than Pete Buttigieg out there, man. We'll even do an
Yeah.
episode on him because he really is not one of the
Yeah,
best.
but he might be the Democratic nominee for president one day, and that
He
makes me dislike
100%
him.
will. Yes, I can see that happening.
I don't think he will. I think he's too awkward. I think he'll always get beat out by someone more charming.
I think he'll need
but
to be much older, and it'll be Gavin
I
Newsom.
think Kamala is
before it'll be
more
him.
charming than Pete. Like, I think
Yeah.
Kamala would get the nom
She
before
just said
Pete
the F
would.
word in some speech that she
Well,
did.
at least, like, if Kamala became president, I would have a fun time, right? Because like Kamala's fun. Like when she does a gaffe, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like she starts dancing to like anti-imperialist music, you know, like as she comes out of an embassy.
What are they singing? They're singing "Fuck you, Kamala Harris." They're like,
Yeah. Oh, cool. This is a good beat. Yeah, like
that's a real thing
like,
that
she's
happened more or less in
she's
Puerto
a
Rico.
cop, but she's also a mom trying to be cool. Like she's both those things. Like she's the cop on the high school campus trying to dance at the pep rally. And so like that's better than grandpa who doesn't know where he's at or business con man who keeps having scandal every day to get rid of the last scandal.
Oh
So
God. Well, aside from Kamala,
or CIA Pete. Pete was in the CIA. Don't
he
you
was
ever
in the
forget it.
CIA. Yeah, he was. That's again. We got. I would be down to do an episode on Pete. But so back to Kristi though. A few other things before
4 years from now, you and I are going to be talking about the dim primaries. So
yeah, it is. I strongly still think it's going to be Gavin Newsom, but I don't see Pete Buttigieg
Gruesome
beating.
Newsom.
Yeah, I don't
Gruesome
see him
Newsom.
having the charisma to beat out. The new Kennedy, basically. But
dude, what if Joe gets it and then he dies and then Kamala's president? She's got it now wrapped up.
I mean that, yeah, sure, but these crazy hypotheticals are just crazy hypotheticals. I'm just speaking in, ooh, yeah, it's like sure, like aliens could
Again,
literally may invade us. Who knows?
2014, Andrew saying, "Well, what if Donald Trump runs for president?" You'd be like, "No way."
Yeah, I honestly, in this point, I will say 2028, no way Donald Trump runs for president, and you will be telling me, ha 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 ha, he's running and winning and beating out Gavin Newsom and AOC somehow. And I'll quit. I will quit. That's it. But right now I'm full in and I'm fighting for democracy, what little of it there is left, through talking about dickheads in South Dakota who went down to Dallas, our stomping grounds, and for some reason
my hometown
endorsed it was for her governor's website or on the official, in some official capacity, was talking as the governor, but thanked this dental surgery place in Dallas for fixing her teeth and more or less made it a commercial on taxpayer dollars and is now being investigated for it. Like that's, if anything, like takes anything out of her, it will be the dog thing who no one cares because no one cares about anything.
I think the dog thing and the Kim Jong-un thing like ended her chance to be vice
100%,
president.
but I think she'll actually face some sort of criminal charge for this is what I mean. But maybe not, probably not.
I am still of the opinion, like today I was listening to them being on MSNBC like, all it takes is one juror being like, it's cool that Trump committed a bunch of fraud to cover up the sex scandal with a prostitute. And I was like, man, it really do be hard to punish anyone who has money. Like
jury system is not the
any
best.
white man with money, like rich person in general, but especially a white rich man with money, like actually getting them punished. And it applies. Kristi Noem is the second worst thing to a white man, which is a white woman with money.
Dude, yeah, because no, honestly, I'd say it's worse because women are fucking competent and fucking
and she can cry on the stand. Like crying on the stand really do get you a few years off too.
What's her name? We just did.
I'd cry on the stand, everybody, but I'm in touch with my feminine.
Casey
side,
DeSantis,
so.
Another capable, scary person who reminds me of Kristi Noem, but
Casey DeSantis is
more
way more scary than Kristi Noem.
She's way scary. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's like the evolved
Casey
Pokemon
DeSantis,
of that.
Casey more
there's
so.
Michelle
I mean,
Bachmann, Kristi Noem, Casey DeSantis.
Casey DeSantis may be a legendary, bro. I don't think people understand like
an Articuno,
like how dangerous Casey DeSantis is. Like, if Casey DeSantis had been the one who'd been governor this whole time, she would have beat Donald Trump in the primary. Like,
100%.
I think that she is 100% way more charming and way more in touch with the average American, and like than her husband and then Donald Trump. I certainly more than her husband. I mean, like, the only thing that made Donald Trump win this whole thing is the cult. And like no one challenged him that had any charm. Like Chris Christie was the only person who challenged him. And who the fuck wants Donald Trump light, but not a criminal? Like, which I guess Christie is still a criminal,
He's
but
a criminal.
not
an
as blatant.
Unconvicted criminal.
Yeah. Exactly. Not facing actual indictment at the moment. Criminal
causing deaths on an ambulance because you shut down a bridge out of a grudge was criminal act. But.
Yeah, no, Tunnelgate was pretty horrible. Don't get me wrong, but like, the number of scandals that Donald Trump has had at this point, just concerning the last election, is like more than 30.
Oh yeah,
like
it's insane. We're not only here,
and
but
we're like talking about who he's gonna pick to be his lackey, because the last guy refused to invalidate the actual election that was his lackey.
We are in a world where the news is having to read the phrase, and the judge said no descriptions of genitalia. Like on the stand. Well, that's a phrase that was read in court.
It spoiled my day, but whatever. Like I
we already know what it looks like.
I think people would commit less crimes if everyone had to have their genitalia described by an ex-lover whenever they had to testify. I think that should be added to our Constitution. Yeah. Like, if you're accused of a crime,
Next Amendment,
and you're not willing to go on the stand, then your ex is allowed to come testify about their last sexual experience with you.
Oh, dude, news alert! 60% of the governors just agreed to that.
Less crimes.
So there you go. It's in. They just and because there's a lot of women governors now. So
hey. I'm ready. I'm ready for the leather-clad mommies to take control.
Sure.
I am such a misandrist. Like, fuck all the men. I am here to be someone's puppy dog. Yeah, nah, fuck all of you. This is for me. I'm gonna be the best pet they ever had.
They do it on Themyscira with the Wonder Woman people.
I'm ready for the women or the robots to take over, and for me to be a great stooge jester.
We'll do a Wonder Woman Island Themyscira episode on Neurodocracy this summer, and you can
I would kill to be a slave in Themyscira.
So the last thing though, still speaking
Wonder me, mommy. What?
Still speaking of female governors, Kristi Noem here. So this was one of my favorite things, and just as her being not just the thing about the dog, the thing about her being a shady person with the dental thing, whatever. This was so great for just one, native peoples, and two, just that she as a governor can't go to, I think it's 20% of her own state, because she made remarks comparing tribal leaders in her state to drug cartels, and the native nations in those areas have barred her from entering their territories.
Well, it's not like there's a lot of Native Americans in the Dakotas.
In the Dakotas, yeah, there's just a few. There was once a grand city. Even. But,
I mean, she's a dumbass. That's what most of this shows is. She's stupid.
Bush
just
level,
Palin
I would
is
say.
Stupid.
This is Bush level
Palin.
stupid.
Palin,
yeah.
Bush wasn't really stupid. I still don't think. I think Bush acted stupid, but I think Bush
acted folksy. This is Palin level dumb and Bachman level dumb.
Her are actually, Bachman.
And I don't like it that we're talking three female representatives that had to be the three dumbest goddamn people.
Lindsey Graham is this dumb? Fucking.
There's others. Sex doesn't mean you're dumb. These people just happen to be women and are
What's
really
his name?
fucking stupid.
The Texas rep that's fucking bald that I hate. Louis Gohmert. Louis Gohmert is dumber than Michelle Bachmann times Laura Berbert to the power of fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene. Louis Gohmert is the dumbest fucking multi-celled organism to ever exist. I hope Louis Gohmert has to go back in time and sleep with his own mother in some Back to the Future vision to explain how inbred he already is. Because Louis Gohmert is the biggest piece of shit that Louis Gohmert, I hate you like I'm young. I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you speak and the way that you dress. Louis Gohmert, I despise you more than K-Dot despises Drake. I hope that the universe opens up a hole and sucks you into it and spits you back out in a Scrooge fucking Christmas Carol-esque adventure happening to you, and you still don't get forgiven and burn in hell forever after changing your ways, because fuck you, Louis Gohmert. So let's get rid of all the misogyny comments because I hate Louis Gohmert more than all those women.
And I didn't, promote any threats of violence. So I think we can put that on social media.
Fucking piece of shit.
Fuck Louis Gohmert. No, is he mine? He might be my representative, or when he's not my representative in Austin, but there is a rep in Austin that's the dumbest Republican I've ever met.
Louis Gohmert represents
Oklahoma,
there's a whole. No, it's in Texas.
He's the one. Then.
There's a hole somewhere in the fucking plains that's like underneath a bunch of like rotten undead cactus and like burrows of like spines that have combed over this cave. And then deep inside that cave is a portal to the nine hells, and that is the district that Louis Gohmert represents.
Fair enough. I think that's called New Braunfels, specifically where you might represent. New Braunfels, not a great place. Don't like that place very much. I've almost been run off the road like 5 times there by the biggest trucks you've ever seen. So what was this episode out? Kristi Noem? Yeah, okay. She sucks. And I guess we're doing Louis Gohmert next. That's for sure. Because I think Andrew's got some shit to
Louis
get off his
Gohmert,
chest.
I will fly direct. Like, come at me.
Is there anything else about this woman? No, that was really it. I mean, she's
gone. She's in the past. Louis Gohmert will continue to be, and I will continue to hate him.
Yeah.
This woman is done.
This woman, yeah, and like, but to your fears though, you were scared that she still could be the absolute, could be Trump's VP. I really do not think she will. I don't like.
I think Trump wants a white woman with.
I do too, but I think he wants to win in such a way that he will cut out he won't hire Nikki Haley. He went as far to say no, Nikki Haley's not being considered.
There's no way.
That's his line.
No way he's going to pick Haley.
I don't think he'll win.
Axios leaked this week that like he's considering Haley, and then he tweeted like, "No, I'm not."
No, he's not. Yeah. But like he wants to win so bad that this person who kills dogs, like he doesn't like dogs, but he's also not going to pick a losing person who people hate. Not to mention, like he turned on abortion. Like that's my thing. I think he wants to win so bad. He will go against everything.
Like at this point, we're rolling because like this guy like is spending like 4 days a week, like in a trial for 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's looking for 2 or 3 more trials for that to happen to him over the next few months. He's either going to be at a rally or in trial. He's tired. He's old. Like
falling asleep inside
probably
trial.
Shitting himself while he
literally
falls asleep.
Shitting himself. Yeah.
Yeah. And like
multiple farts from what I understand.
I like who knows what he may just wake up and be like, I want this person. Like
he
and then
could.
it happens.
Yeah. Like I mean the chaos in his brain.
At this point, not even the chaos in his brain. Like average person. Imagine if you spent 6 hours a day in a trial hearing shit talked about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you went to a rally and talked shit for 4 hours. And like that was a majority of your week. And the rest of the time is like calling people and begging for money.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I think it'll be Rubio as far as what I've heard everything this week. But again, that could change on a dime.
Little Marco.
I know. Little Marco. But
apparently,
here's the thing, though, about him. What I found out, he was apparently what they considered the domestic secretary of state while he was like he wasn't working for Trump, but he was like acting like on his behalf of like kind of whipping people on behalf of the president for while Trump was president. So he at least trusts Marco Rubio in a way.
I'm sure he whips for Trump in the Senate, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, because he's way more effective than Ted Cruz. Like, people like Marco Rubio, right?
Yeah.
Like, like Donald Trump may not personally like him, but like,
no, but he gets along with
people in the Senate like Marco Rubio. I don't think people in the Senate like Ted Cruz.
No, everybody hates
in the
Ted
Senate
Cruz.
like Lindsey Graham, but they don't trust him. Like, he's a little fucking weasel. But they're like, okay, Lindsey's fine or whatever. But like, people genuinely hate Ted Cruz. Like Lindsey Graham hates Ted Cruz. Like Mitch McConnell hates Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
So like,
and that's my point. Like
Rubio is somebody who that Trump could call in the middle of the night, right? And be like, hey, you need to tell the other senators this. And I think Rubio is probably a good foot soldier for that. Yeah.
He's like a Joe Biden in that aspect.
I think Rubio would be exactly like Pence. And in the end, he would, and I think that's what Donald Trump is most.
Yeah. Agreed, 100%.
Is somebody who's a lackey that will do anything, whether it's illegal or not. And I don't think Rubio would do that. I think in the end, Rubio would do what he thinks is right. It
would be between him and Gabbard,
right?
And I think because of his power with the Senate, I think it would be him, like full stop. And but we're about to find out in the next couple of weeks.
We may get a complete wild card, man. Like
Donald Donaldson or whatever his name is. What's his name? That fucking guy who apparently Don likes. He was talking like a bunch of mad love for the guy. But his last name's Donald.
What if it's like Judge Janine Pirro or something.
Oh my, man.
What if it's
we'll be
Palin,
starting
you
a
know,
whole
like-
podcast dedicated to Janine at that point. Like, because
Judge Janine.
oh yeah, we're
Give me another
working
scotch
on
and then we're going to talk about Joe Biden.
we're working on kind of another spinoff of this, loosely titled "The Great American Disappointments." She can definitely, I guess, be that. Maybe not. It's more focusing on people like The Rock and John Fetterman. But,
Rudy Giuliani's up there from
Rudy
America's
Giuliani's
Mayor.
100% on that list. He'll be on both of these episodes. But that's it. You know, I'm done talking about Kristi, the dog murdering lady who's
there
a
are
thing
two
of the
big
past.
things that happened, right? Like she lied about
Kim.
meeting Kim Jong-un. She got caught saying that, and she killed dogs and a goat. And it's like, this is the people who were in the top tier to be VP for Donald Trump's
Not
nom.
even 3 or
That's
4
really
weeks
the
ago.
point.
Like,
It's such
crazy.
a fucking joke. And I'm sorry, like everybody, like I understand hating Joe Biden and Genocide Joe and his stupid, like barely getting anything done self. But like, if you're actually contemplating voting for Donald Trump, I'm not even saying not voting or like voting third party. I'm saying if you're actually voting for Donald Trump, like you are either an idiot or a bad person. I'm sorry. Like at this point, like this is his fucking VP nom, or you don't pay attention at all. And if you somehow stumbled upon this
so
podcast
disconnected,
and you don't pay attention at all, I'm telling you, I will bet you money that if you gave me 30 minutes of your time, I could convince you to vote for anybody but Donald Trump.
10 minutes.
I will take you voting for RFK Brainworm Jr. over Donald Trump. Like, that is almost the message of this podcast. Anything else is like, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you never vote for the fascists. Like, if I can get that one idea across.
Yeah. So yeah, do that, America. Don't do that. Don't
they're
vote
so
for this.
bad and they're so incompetent, and they only know branding. That's it. That's all they ever know is branding.
Well, meanwhile, the Democrats are absolutely fuck all terrible at branding themselves. Anybody on the left, not us though. You like our new American Left logo? I like it. You should share it and subscribe to this channel as well as on TikTok and Instagram. And over at American Podcast Presents, we're still having fun over there and making people laugh. So I know we're going to be fine. Hopefully this trial makes Donald Trump enough of a joke, and Kristi, who was a huge threat.
Fallout, baby.
Yeah, fall into the fallout, baby.
You gotta crawl out through that fallout, baby.
Crawl out through that fallout. Crawl out through that fallout, baby. I
right.
cannot believe that was a real album from the 60s.
President Z, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I endorse it. Push it. Push the button, President Z, into the Western imperialist state. I'm all for it.
No, dude. No, it wasn't even them. Spoiler alert, it was capitalism that did it all. Capitalism, drop that bomb. All right, so watch Fallout. It's good. And watch our show. It's even better. I think it's better. It's better than anything the Nolan brothers have ever done. Full stop.
It's better. It's better than Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, for sure. That movie isn't good. Those
anything in the Snyderverse really, it's probably better than. I
liked the Snyder cut. Honest to God, the black and white version. It was super neat to watch, but I don't know. That's not anything. Oh, we're going to have a nerd show. Kristi Noem sucks. We're going to have a nerd show. Subscribe to the American Left. We'll see you when we see you.
Don't kill dogs.
Don't kill dogs. God, give your dog a hug. Oh, and donate to the link if you want to donate to some dogs and help some dogs out.
And stuff.
ASPCA and Austin Pets Alive, linked in the description of this episode.
Spayed and neutered.
Get your pets spayed. Please, actually do that. You really do need to do that. Bob Barker,
don't let your cats
wasn't lying.
Be outside cats. Keep your cats inside.
Yeah.
They kill a bunch of birds.
Yeah, they do kill a bunch of birds.
Unless you live on a farm or something. If you live on a farm, I guess like your cat.
Yeah, your dogs and cats can.
If you live in the city or suburbs, keep your cat inside.
City, stay inside.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
We're not a dog how-to show now. We can be. Would you prefer that? You would. Oh. Okay then. Well, so getting into beagles. All right. Good night.
Bye.
They're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us.
You've been listening to They're Not Sending Their Best with hosts Andrew Turner and Tim Phillippe. Any news sources mentioned in this episode are listed in the show notes. The theme song for They're Not Sending Their Best is Circus by Music for Videos and was procured through Pixabay before the final version was cobbled together by Timmy Two-Step using the terrible words of Donald J. Trump. They're Not Sending Their Best is mixed and edited by Tim Phillippe at Shway Media Studios in Austin, Texas. The show was created by Andrew Turner and Tim Phillippe and is a production of Shway Media and America the Podcast Presents. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com and americathepodcast.com. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
This has been a production of Shway Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com.